the forest falls silent, every creature holding its breath. In this hush, the world feels suspended, as if time itself pauses. The air is thick with anticipation, and even the wind seems to wait. It's a silence that speaks volumes, a language older than words. You sense a warning in the stillness, a primal fear, an ancient instinct that stirs deep within. It's a feeling that connects us to our earliest ancestors, a thread woven through generations. In these moments, we become part of a much older story, one written in the shadows and whispers of the wild. Long before technology, our ancestors relied on animals as their early warning system. They watched, listened, and learned from the creatures around them, understanding that survival depended on paying attention to the subtle cues of the natural world. Animals detect danger, predators, earthquakes, storms, long before we do. Their senses are finely tuned to the slightest change, the faintest tremor, the most distant sound, a flock of birds erupting into flight, deer vanishing into the undergrowth, or a sudden hush among the trees. These are messages, warnings written in movement and silence. Early humans learned to read these signals, a sudden flight of birds, deer bolting, silence in the trees. They became skilled interpreters of the wild, able to sense what was coming long before it arrived. This knowledge was not just useful, it was essential for survival. Ignoring these signs often meant disaster. Those who failed to notice the warnings paid a heavy price. The wild is unforgiving to those who do not listen. Today, we're insulated from these cues, distracted by technology. Our senses dulled by constant noise and screens, we rarely notice the subtle signals that once guided us. We walk through the world half blind, missing the stories unfolding all around us, yet the signals remain, waiting for us to notice. The wild still speaks, if only we choose to listen. Tracks in the mud, a sudden silence, the posture of an animal on alert. These are clues, reminders of a deeper connection. The language of the wild is one of behavior, sound, and silence. It is a language we once knew by heart, and can learn again if we are willing to pay attention. Survival still depends on our ability to observe. In the wild, awareness is everything. Those who notice, who read the signs, are the ones who endure. The lessons of the wild are timeless if we stop, look, and listen. In the quiet, we rediscover our place in nature and remember that we, too, are part of the story the wild is telling. Early humans learned by watching animals, nature's first teachers. Long before written language or formal education, our ancestors relied on their senses and curiosity to decode the secrets of survival. They watched, listened, and mimicked, understanding that animals had mastered the art of living in the wild, observing what bears ate, which berries birds avoided, or how herds protected their young, shaped our survival strategies. These daily lessons were not just about food or safety, they were about understanding the rhythms of life itself. By paying close attention, humans learned which plants healed and which harmed, and how to move quietly through the landscape. Every animal offered a clue. Vultures circling meant food nearby, frantic digging signaled water. Even the smallest behaviors, like the way birds flew before a storm, became signals that could mean the difference between life and death. Nature was a living map, and animals were its guides. These patterns became a living guidebook, tested by generations. Over time, this knowledge was passed down, refined and woven into the fabric of culture and tradition. It was a wisdom that grew richer with every observation and every shared story. Our ancestors respected animals as fellow survivors, not just resources. They saw animals as teachers, partners in the struggle to endure, and honored them in art, ritual, and daily life. They saw themselves as apprentices to nature, learning through observation and trial. Each day brought new lessons, and every mistake was a chance to grow wiser and more attuned to the world around them. This deep connection fostered a sense of belonging and respect for the land. Living in harmony with nature was not just a choice, but a necessity for survival and well-being. The animal kingdom's wisdom was essential, not optional. It shaped the way humans hunted, gathered, traveled, and even celebrated the changing seasons. We thrived by reading the world through their eyes, learning to see the land as a living, breathing teacher. In every paw print, every call, and every movement, there was a lesson waiting to be discovered. The San people of the Kalahari are masters of reading the earth. A bent blade of grass, a bird's alarm call, each is a clue in a living symphony. They interpret tracks, sounds, and silences to map unseen dangers and opportunities. Bird calls, like the grey go-away bird's cry, warn of predators. The San see not just animals, but their relationships with the land. This knowledge, passed down for generations, is both science and identity. Tracking is a dialogue with nature, requiring patience and humility. The earth always speaks to those who know how to listen. Ancient Chinese farmers watched animals for signs of disaster and fortune. Agitated dogs, restless chickens, and leaping fish warned of earthquakes. Migratory birds signaled planting time. Ants moving eggs predicted floods. These observations became proverbs and practical guides, woven into daily life. In 1975, animal behavior led to an evacuation before a major earthquake, saving thousands. Animals were seen as living barometers, sensitive to environmental shifts. By watching them, people gained a window into the future. Nature's clues, once vital, remain powerful tools for survival. For the Inuit, survival is a delicate dance with the Arctic's ever-changing environment. Every day they must read the subtle signs in the ice, the sea, and the animals that share their world. Their lives are shaped by a deep understanding of the land and its rhythms, passed down through generations. The great migrations of caribou, the shifting locations of seals, and the seasonal behavior of walrus all guide the Inuits' daily choices. These animals are not just food sources, but vital indicators of the health of the land and sea. Inuit hunters learn to interpret the smallest cues. A polar bear's gait might reveal the thickness of the ice. The flight patterns of seabirds can signal changes in weather, and even the presence of krill in the water hints at the movement of larger animals. Sled dogs, trusted companions, sometimes eat snow before a blizzard, alerting their human partners to approaching storms. The way seals move near cracks in the ice can warn of danger, helping hunters avoid disaster. This knowledge is both practical and spiritual, rooted in a profound respect for the land and its creatures. Elders teach the young not only how to survive, but how to honor the delicate balance that sustains all life here. Animals are seen as partners in survival, not merely resources to be used. Sharing food and giving thanks are essential practices, ensuring that the relationship between people and nature remains one of reciprocity and care. In the vast silence of the Arctic, listening to the voices of animals and the land is the foundation of Inuit life and culture. It is a way of being that values patience, observation, and humility. The wisdom of the Inuit is a testament to human adaptability and the enduring power of nature, a reminder that true survival comes from living in harmony with the world around us. Reading animal signs is a universal human skill. Shepherds in the Alps heed restless sheep before avalanches. Sailors watch seabirds for storms. Indigenous Australians follow finches to hidden waterholes. Lush vegetation and animal tracks reveal springs worldwide. In 2004, animals fled before the Indian Ocean tsunami, sensing danger before humans. These instincts are not folklore. They're survival tools honed over millennia. Animals are natural sensors, their behavior a guide to safety. Their ancient awareness remains a vital resource if we choose to notice. For generations, animal wisdom was passed down through stories, not books. Campfire tales taught children how to find water, avoid danger, and read the land. Lessons were reinforced by hands-on practice, watching ants, listening to birds, feeling the earth. Stories made complex knowledge memorable and practical. This oral tradition was a living library, binding communities to the land and each other. Learning these stories meant learning respect for nature and elders. The wisdom was sacred, tested by time, and essential for survival. Storytelling wove the fabric of society, connecting past, present, and future. Today, technology often drowns out nature's signals, but when systems fail, ancient skills become critical again. Observing animal behavior is a reliable, power-free backup. Relearning this language starts with awareness, listening, watching, noticing patterns. Even a walk in the park can become a lesson in nature's code. Scientists now study animal reactions to predict disasters, validating ancient wisdom. Reconnecting with these signals deepens our humanity and stewardship. The wild still whispers its secrets. We only need to be still and listen.